This is breaking news on CNN Philippines as Sandigan Bayan has handed down his decision on the plunder case of former Senator Bong Revilla. He has been found not guilty by the Sandigan Bayan. We have our correspondent AC Nichols in the Sandigan Bayan right now for the latest. AC?
After 4.5 years in detention, former Senator Bong Revilla will soon go free. This as the Sandigan Bayan finds him not guilty of plunder over an alleged pork barrel scam. Now, we just went out of the courtroom of the Sandigan Bayan. They just read the dispositive portion of the Sandigan Bayan ruling a few minutes ago. We have yet to get the actual decision, but we do know that a special division of 5 justices ruled on the former senator's plunder case, meaning 2 more justices from a different division weighed in. Now, this happens when a court, when the 3 justices in a particular division are not able to reach a unanimous decision. Now, Revilla's co-accused businesswoman, Janet Lim Napoles, and his former staff, Richard Cambe, were found guilty. So they were sentenced to reclusion perpetua or up to 20 to up to 40 years of imprisonment. Now, in light of his acquittal, the court, we're expecting the court to order Revilla's immediate release. He's still inside of the courtroom. We're still waiting for him to go out. Of course, we will try to get his reaction as soon as he comes out of the courtroom. He's now with his family and a couple of supporters, including former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who is also facing similar charges over the alleged pork barrel scam. Now, just to give you a brief background of the case that was filed against Revilla, he was accused of pocketing over 200 million pesos by funneling his pork barrel to bogus non-government organizations controlled by Napoles. He was indicted in 2014, so he's been in detention at the PNP Custodial Center since he was indicted. Revilla's plunder case is the first case related to the pork barrel scam.
AC, we will cut you for a bit. We will go to Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
So I do not want to preempt the decision of the Sandigan Bayan.
Thank you, sir. From the Sandigan Bayan, we'll go back to our correspondent AC Nichols, who are telling us about the decision. Go ahead, AC.
Yes, as I was saying earlier, this plunder case or Revilla's plunder case is the first case related to the pork barrel scam here at the Sandigan Bayan to be resolved. So out of all the pork barrel scam related cases, this is the first one to be concluded. But it should be noted that aside from this plunder case, the former senator is also facing trial for several graft cases in relation to the same alleged fraud. So once the court orders his immediate release, he will still have to post bail for those graft cases if he wants to go free by the end of the day. Now, he has always insisted on his innocence. He said he had no personal knowledge about supposed endorsement letters that he allegedly signed for the release of pork funds to Napoles' NGOs. Now, obviously, this ruling, Cherry, is not favorable to the ombudsman or to the state prosecutor. So what's their next move? We previously spoke to Ombudsman Samuel Martres, and he told us that their hands are tied in this matter or in this case of an acquittal, since the law does not allow appealing an acquittal. He cited the law on double jeopardy or the prohibition against being twice put in jeopardy. So right now, again, we're still waiting outside the courtroom of the Sandigan Bayan First Division. We're waiting for the former senator to come out, and we will make sure that we'll be able to get his reaction after this favorable decision on his part. Back to you.
Okay, so again there, AC Nichols is in the Sandigan Bayan and she's telling us about the decision that that is acquitting, no? Acquitted po si dating Senador Bong Revilla sa kasong plunder. Pero meron pa siyang mga kakaharaping graft cases. Let's first go to Caroline Bongkin, who is outside the Sandigan Bayan. Caroline, what's happening there now?
Sherry, it's a festive atmosphere here outside the Sandigan Bayan. Bong Revilla supporters have broken in tears when they learned that the Sandigan Bayan found him innocent in his plunder case. His supporters say it's an answered prayer. They've been praying for this in the past 9 days. They are so happy because Bong Revilla is finally coming home to Cavite with them after more than 4 years in detention. They've been chanting, Bong, uwi na yan, Bong, uwi na yan. A lot of supporters here say that they've been supporting Revilla since the beginning, and they really believe that he is innocent and all his charges are just politically motivated. Cherry, right now, the supporters continue on their program to show their support for Revilla, and they will wait until Revilla has finally processed papers from the Sandigan Bayan. They'll wait until he finally leaves the anti-graft court, Terry.
Caroline, outside the Sandigan Bayan, are they all supporters of former Senator Revilla, or are there also dissenters?
Terry, actually, the only group which came here today are supporters of Bong Revilla, although the PNP received reports that anti-pork barrel groups will be coming here today. None of them showed, and basically all of the people here are in support of Revilla, Terry.
Okay, thank you very much, Caroline Bongkin. We'll go back to you later on. So again, the breaking news for this hour: former Senator Bong Revilla, accused of plunder the Sandigan Bayan 1st Division, has decided that he is not guilty, or he is acquitted of plunder, while two co-accused, Janet Lim Napoles and his former staff, Richard Cambe, have been convicted. Of course, Janet Lim Napoles was there. We saw her earlier enter the Sandigan Bayan, but we are not sure of Richard Cambe. We are still trying to get the whole decision of the 1st Division of the Sandigan Bayan. We will pause for a break right now, and we will go back later on to our correspondents in the Sandigan Bayan. This is a developing story. Please stay tuned to CNN Philippines. You're still watching. This is breaking news on CNN Philippines, and the Sandigan Bayan just acquitted former Senator Bong Revilla on the case of plunder, and Senator Bong Revilla is very thankful on that decision. He was with his family earlier when the decision was read, and he is still inside the Sandigan Bayan right now. His co-accused Janet Lim Napoles and Richard Cambe were both convicted by the Sandigan Bayan. Again, Bong Revilla acquitted. Janet Lim Napoles and Richard Cambe are both convicted of the charge of plunder. Senator Revilla, of course, still faces graft charges apart from that. We will go to Sandigan Bayan now for live pictures.
The custodial center in Camp Crame will release. How much? I really do not know. It depends on what has been. Well, that is another issue. On top of my mind right now, if you find somebody not criminally liable, he cannot be civilly liable.
So, sir, i-contest niyo pa ito?
I would like to think that Attorney Mendoza will do so, and that has been what I was discussing with my colleague, because under the law, and this is substantive law, not procedural, every person criminally liable is civilly liable. If he is not criminally liable, how can he be civilly liable? So we will have to look at the decision very well and what is civilly liable. Thank you.
Let's go now to our correspondent AC Nichols, who was at the Sandigan Bayan. AC?
Yes, again, the Sandigan Bayan First Division a few moments ago just handed down its verdict on the plunder pork barrel scam case against former Senator Bong Revilla. And the court found Revilla not guilty of plunder. Only the dispositive portion of the decision was read out in court, so we still don't have the complete ruling, which means I cannot yet discuss the particular merits on why the court acquitted the former senator, though it was mentioned in the dispositive portion that they found the prosecution or the state prosecutors failed to present sufficient evidence proving his guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Meantime, his co-accused and alleged cohort, businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles and his former staff Richard Cambe, were convicted and they were sentenced to reclusion perpetua or up to 40 years of imprisonment. Now, the senator already left the court. Earlier, we saw him after the promulgation or after the proceedings. He became quite emotional. He was just quiet. There was no cheering from his family. They were just quiet. We saw that he shed a tear, and when we asked for a message or for a reaction, he just thanked everyone who prayed for him. Now, we also heard his attorneys, his lawyers discussing the next step for him, which will be the posting of bail. Because aside from this plunder case, he is also facing trial for several draft cases still in connection to the alleged pork barrel scam. So before he is actually released from detention, he will still have to post a bail for those cases. If I remember correctly, that 16 counts of draft cases for the alleged pork barrel scam, and typically one count, the court would impose a 30,000 peso bail. So for the total counts of 16, that would amount to over 400,000 pesos. So that's what we're going to be monitoring after the promulgation. The next development will have to be related to his posting of bail and, of course, eventually to his release from detention. Back to you.
AC?
Yes.
Do we know now where Senator Revilla will be heading? Is he going to go back to Camp Crame first?
Yes. We heard his lawyer saying that from here, they will have to go back to the TNT Custodial Center first in Camp Crame, because typically in court proceedings, once an accused is acquitted and when the accused will be released from detention, there's still certain releasing processes that he will have to go through. So in this case, that may include complete medical workup and other processes for releasing. So we'll still have to do that. And then after that, he will have to post bail, as I mentioned earlier, here at the Sandigan Bayan, since he never posted bail for those 16 counts of draft cases before, since he was already detained for the plunder case. So now he's going to have to post that bond before he is released from detention. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, AC Nichols there. In the meantime, let's go to Carolyn Bongkin, who is outside the Sandigan Bayan. Carolyn, what's happening there now?
Sherry, supporters of former Senator Bong Revilla have started leaving the Sandigan Bayan.
They're now heading to the Revilla's home in Cavite to wait for Senator Revilla for his coming home after 4 years since he was detained. The supporters have broken in tears. It was very festive here a while ago after they learned about former Senator Revilla's acquittal. They said it was an answered prayer. They've been asking God for this for the past 9 days, and some of the supporters that we've talked to earlier said that they've been supporting Revilla all the way since he was charged in 2014. They said that Revilla has helped them a lot, and that's why they've given their loyalty, their full support to him, Cherry.
Okay, thank you very much, Caroline Bunkin there from outside the Sandigan Bayan, where PNP personnel were also deployed for the handing down of the decision on the plunder case of former Senator Bong Revilla. Of course, now we know that the former senator is acquitted of plunder. He is the first ever lawmaker to be acquitted or to have been decided on a plunder case, no? So, yan po ang kauna-unahan. Of course, yung kay sa kasama niyang si Senator Juan Ponce Enrile at kay Senador Jinggoy Estrada ay dinidinig pa ngayon ng Sandigan Bayan. Although the two other senators were out on bail, si Senador Bong Revilla po ay nanatili sa kulungan sa PNP Custodial Center sa Campo Crame ng 4 na taon matapos hindi payagan ng korte ang kanyang apila para makalabas panandalian sa korte habang dinidinig ang kanyang kaso. Pero sa araw ngang ito, nagtapos na po ang kasong plunder at napagdesisyonan na ito ay hindi siya guilty, no, or not guilty or acquitted si dating Senador Bong Revilla sa kasong plunder. Pero kagaya ng sinabi ng ating correspondent na si AC Nichols kanina, meron pa siyang kinakaharap na mga graft cases at yung kanyang abogado kanina ay nagbigay ng pahayag tungkol sa mga susunod nilang hakbang para maghain ng piyansa o ng bail for the counts of graft, no? Former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales says if she were to judge the pork scam cases filed against former Senator Bong Revilla, she will convict him. Morales explains this is based on the evidence the office gathered against Revilla. Former Senator Revilla now earlier turned emotional after the Sandigan Bayan acquitted him of plunder charges. He also has a message to his
At last, sir, nakita na rin ng tao na talagang status na ito.
Sa lahat na nagdasal, maraming salamat po.
Sir, how are you feeling after
At
the
last,
acquittal?
sir, nakita na rin ng tao na talagang status na ito.
Sa lahat na nagdasal, maraming salamat po.
Sir, how are you feeling after
At
the
last,
acquittal?
sir, nakita na rin ng tao na talagang status na ito.
This is breaking news on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. This is breaking news on CNN Philippines as Sandigan Bayan acquits former Senator Bong Revilla on his plunder case. Let's go now to former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who's on the line. Senator Jinggoy, good morning. Senator Jinggoy?
Yes, hello?
Yes, good morning, Senator Jinggoy. You were in the...
Good morning.
Nandun po kayo nung nagbasa ng desisyon?
Yes, I was present inside the courtroom.
Can you let us know what happened, what transpired during the reading of the decision?
Well, before the reading of the decision, we were all nervous, and si Mayor Lani Mercado, the wife of Senator Bong, was really in tears, and all of their children. We were really very nervous. And when the dispositive portion of the decision was read, and the clerk of court announced his acquittal, and of course there was silence in the crowd, but we were really very happy.
You're there as a supporter, Senator Jinggoy, but of course you also have your case, no? Ano po ang nakikita niyong magiging epekto nito sa inyong sariling kaso?
Well, I do not want to preempt the decision of the 5th Division of the Sandigan Bayan. I will just leave my faith with the court. Well, but I also hope that I will be acquitted in due time.
Ito po ba naging usapan na kayo po ay lahat pupunta dyan? Of course, Senator Enrile was also there. Nasa loob din po ba si Senator?
No, Senator Enrile was not here. He's not here right now.
So wala po siya nung nagbasa ng desisyon for Senator Bong?
Wala.
Pero kayo po, you were there as a support?
Yes, I'm providing moral support for my friend.
Ano po ang nabanggit ni Senator Bong? Where is he going now?
I really do not know. I haven't spoken to him.
And
I think He's posting a bail bond with regard to the graft charges.
Can you give us an update on your case, Senator Jinggoy?
My case is still ongoing, but we have already submitted our respective formal offer of evidence, and we are going to file for relief of court. Then, if the court will grant our pleading or our motion, we will file a demurrer to evidence.
Kailan po nakatakda ang susunod na pagdinig?
Probably next year na, kasi December na.
And are you optimistic? How are you feeling about your chances on that?
Confident because they have released me on bail, meaning to say that the evidence can be swift. So I will still leave it to the court to decide my case.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Thank you po.
Okay, that was former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who was there also when the decision was being read on former Senator Bong Revilla. Now let's go to one of the lawyers of former Senator Bong Revilla, Attorney Mones Guerra. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Attorney Guerra.
Magandang umaga sa iyo at magandang umaga sa mga kasama mo dyan at sa mga nakikinig sa iyong palatuntunan.
So, ito pong naging desisyon. Can you give us a background on ano po ang naging hatol kanina?
Well, number one, what was read in the court was simply the dispositive portion, and therefore, which is of course the most important part of the decision. In the decision, the two of the accused, meaning two co-accused of the senator, were convicted of the crime of plunder, and they were sentenced to reclusion perpetua, and they have been ordered, their custody has been ordered transferred already to the National Bilibid Prison in the case of Richard Cambe, and in the case of Mrs. Napoles, in the Correctional Institute for Women here in Mandaluyong. Now, insofar as the senator is concerned, for the failure of the prosecution to prove the guilt, his guilt, meaning the former senator's guilt beyond reasonable doubt, and for lack of, meaning not really lack, but insufficient evidence, he has been acquitted, but the vote is split, and there were three who, of course, voted in favor of the acquittal, and two who dissented. And the two dissenters were for, of course, conviction. But for that reason, because majority rules, the three votes had it, meaning in terms of having the good senator, former senator, acquitted. So on that, there was a judgment of acquittal in favor of the senator.
Attorney Guerra, will go back to you later on the question of filing of his bail. In the meantime, we'll go first to Carolyn Bungkin, who's outside the Sandigan Bayan. Carolyn.
Sherry, yes, the supporters of former Senator Bong Revilla are already packing up. They're heading to the Revilla's residence in Cavite to continue the celebration of his acquittal. So right now I'm joined by a group of supporters, who went all the way to Quezon City and Sandigan Bayan from Dasmariñas, Cavite. They were here since 7 a.m. and we'll ask them a few questions. So, ate, bakit po all the way from Dasmariñas pumunta po kayo dito ngayong araw ng paglabas ng hatol kay dating Senador Bong Revilla?
Para po suportahan ang mahal naming senador na napatunayan po ngayon na wala po talaga po siyang kasalanan at kami tuwang-tuwa at napapayak po kami sa naging desisyon po.
Ate, bakit ganun na lang po kalaki yung suporta na ibinibigay po ninyo para sa kanya?
Mahal na mahal po namin siya kasi napakadali po niyang lapitan at marami po siyang natulungan sa aming mga kababayan sa Cavite.
Ate, sinasabi mo kanina sa akin na Simula pa noong nakasuhan si dating Senador Bong Revilla ay talagang sumusuporta na kayo sa kanya. Ano po yung sinasabi para sa inyo na tingin ninyo na tungkol dito sa naging kaso sa kanya?
Ito po ay isa po kasi po tatakbo po kasi siya noon na for president, siguro natulungan ng mga kalaban. Kaya po siya idiniin sa kaso na to na wala naman po siyang kasalanan. At kami po ay nagpapasalamat po na acquitted na po siya.
Huli na lang ate, baka meron kayong mensahe para sa inyong dating gobernador.
Sino pong dating?
Para kay dating Senador Bong Revilla.
Malaming senador, ngayon po acquitted ka na, malamal po namin kayo at lagi po namin kayo susuportahan. Kahit ano pong mangyari, lalo na po ngayon.
Okay. So, Cherry, so as I've said earlier, their group will now be heading to Cavite to wait for Revilla's coming home celebration. As of this morning, only the supporters of Bong Revilla came here, but still the police designated by the NCRPO are still around the Sandigan premises to secure the area until Bong Revilla has finished processing his documents. Cherry?
Thank you very much. That's Carolyn Bonkin from outside the Sandigan Bayan. In the meantime, former Senator Bong Revilla turned emotional earlier after the Sandigan Bayan acquitted him of plunder charges. He also has this message to his supporters.
Nakita na rin ng tao na talagang nag-stay
Sa lahat na nagdasal, maraming salamat po.
What's the status of Senator Bong Revilla's pork scam cases? Carolyn Bonkin has that story.
A year after the pork barrel scam was exposed, Bong Revilla, together with Jinggoy Estrada and Juan Ponce Enrile, were the first senators charged with plunder and graft over the pork barrel scam in 2014. Revilla allegedly had 224 million pesos in kickbacks after endorsing projects to 5 bogus non-government organizations run by businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles. Because the amount involved in their cases reached the 50 million peso threshold for plunder, they were not allowed to post bail. But Enrile was temporarily free due to his health, and Estrada because the evidence so far supposedly doesn't point to him as the main plunderer. That left Revilla alone in detention. The Sandigan Bayan denied his petition for bail. He then asked the Supreme Court to reverse the Sandigan Bayan's decision, but he later withdrew his petition.
It may take longer for the Supreme Court to resolve that particular issue. In the meantime, the senator was detained and has been detained for so long. It's better for the senator to go through the rigors of trial than wait for the resolution of the petition questioning the denial of the bail.
Although he was charged in 2014, Revilla's plunder trial only began last year because of his several pending motions. Even the trial was postponed several times because of various pleadings seeking to move back the trial. Revilla, who personally testified in his case, said he never received money from Napoles and only met her in parties. Star witness Ben Herluy, Napoles' cousin who exposed the scheme, also testified, along with 2 of Napoles' former staff. Former Justice Undersecretary Jose Justiniano, who led the DOJ-NBI's investigation, says the judgment will not affect the other pork barrel scam cases.
Dapat walang effect yan sa ibang kaso. Unang-una, magkakaibang division naman na nag-handle niyan. At saka, may mga pagkakaiba din ng mga ebidensya.
Aside from his plunder case, Revilla also has pending graft cases in relation to the pork barrel scam. Carolyn Bonkin, CNN Philippines.
Again, the breaking story now here on CNN Philippines. Former Senator Bong Revilla acquitted of plunder after 4 years of being in jail. He is now a free man after he was acquitted of plunder. But in the meantime, 2 of his co-accused, Janet Lim Napoles and Richard Cambe, were convicted and were sentenced to reclusion perpetua or 20 to 40 years imprisonment. Janet Lim Napoles, of course, is the one being accused of masterminding the PDAF scam or the siphoning of lawmakers' funds to fake NGOs or bogus NGOs. Bong Revilla still faces other graft charges, but graft charges are bailable, and that's now the next step of his lawyers. When the decision was read, former Senator Bong Revilla was with wife Bacoor City Mayor Lani Mercado and his children. The former senator became emotional after the decision was read. He was also supported by other lawmakers who are also accused of the case. Former Senator Jinggoy Estrada was with him inside the courtroom when the decision was read. Former Senator Bong Revilla was being accused of siphoning 224 million pesos worth of people's money to fake NGOs being run by Janet Lim Napoles. Up next is Sports Desk with Andre Felix. I'm Cherry Mercado. Thank you for watching. Narito na ang balitaan sa CNN Philippines. Bong Revilla pinawalang sala ng Sandigan Bayan sa kasong plunder. Magandang tanghali, sa ngalan ni Pinky Webb, ako si Cherry Mercado. Not guilty. Ito ang naging hatol ng Sandigan Bayan kay dating Senador Bong Revilla sa kasong plunder kaugnay ng pork barrel scam. Siya ang kauna-unahang nasintensyahan sa kasong ito. Nabigo umanong patunayan ng prosekusyon na binulsa ng dating senador ang nasa mahigit 200 milyong pisong pondo na para dapat sa mga proyekto. Samantala, guilty naman ang naging hatol sa itinuturing na mastermind ng PDAF scam na si Janet Lim Napoles. Pati na rin ang dating staff ng senador na si Attorney Richard Cambe. Nasa Sandigan Bayan ang aming correspondent na si AC Nichols. AC, ano ang naging reaksyon ni Revilla?
Cherry, matapos nga ang higit 4 na taon na pagkakakulong, ngayon ay makakalaya na si dating Senator Bong Revilla. Ito ay matapos siyang iabsuelto ng Sandigan Bayan para sa kasong plunder patungkol sa isang pork barrel scam. At naging emosyonal nga siya kanina matapos basahin sa korte ang hatol na makakapagpalaya sa kanya. Ito ang kanyang sinabi.
Nakita na rin ng tao na talagang stable side.
Sa lahat ng nagdasal, maraming salamat po.
Inokusahan si Revilla na nagbulsa ng higit 200 million pesos sa pamamagitan ng pag-divert ng kanyang pork barrel sa bogus NGOs. Habang acquitted naman si Revilla, ang kanyang mga co-accused na sina Janet Lim Napoles at dating staff na si Richard Cambe ay hinatulan ng guilty. Dispositive portion lang ng desisyon o yung hatol ang binasa sa korte kanina, kaya't hindi pa natin alam yung mismong merits kung bakit si Revilla ay napawalang sala pero yung kanyang mga co-accused ay convicted. Binanggit rin sa dispositive portion ng ruling na dapat magbalik ang mga akusado ng 124.5 million pesos sa National Treasury. Ngayon, ang pagkakaintindi naman ng mga abogado ni Revilla dito, hindi siya kasama doon sa mga magbabalik ng pera bilang absuelto na nga daw siya. So ibig sabihin, wala na siyang civil liability. Pero yan ang isa sa mga bagay na kailangan pa nating i-clarify sa clerk of court ng Sandigan Bayan First Division. O di kaya naman isang makaklaro natin once na mabasa na talaga natin yung buong desisyon na apparently more than 120 pages daw pala. Ngayon, mga prosecutors naman kanina napansin natin noon, mga nakaitim sila at sabi nga nung isa pagkatapos nung promulgation ay disappointed siya. Pero ayon naman kay Ombudsman Samuel Martires, wala silang magagawa sa acquittal dahil hindi na nila yan pwedeng iapela. Nasa batas kasi ang double jeopardy rule na ibig sabihin kapag naabsuelto ang isang akusado ay hindi na pwedeng iapela ang desisyon. Cherry?
So at this point, AC, anong inaasahang mangyari pagkatapos ng pagbaba ng desisyong ito?
Well, syempre yung next development na inaasahan, Cherry, ay yung talagang pag-release na kay dating Senator Bong Revilla from detention. Ngayon, maaari namang mangyari yan ngayong araw din mismo or within the day, basta lang ma-process ng Sandigan Bayan yung kanyang bail. Dahil maliban dito sa plunder case niya, meron pa siyang ilang mga graft cases na kinakaharap din, related pa rin doon sa pork barrel scam. So kanina nga, pagkatapos ng kanyang promulgation ay dumiretso na kaagad siya doon sa clerk of court ng First Division para mag-post ng bail at nasa 480,000 pesos yung pinost niya for 16 counts of graft. Ngayon, yung kanyang mga abogado nandito pa rin, hinihintay na lamang nila yung release order galing sa korte dahil yung release order na yan kailangan i-present sa police or sa PNP para sa official na release ni Revilla. Balik sa'yo.
Maraming salamat, AC Nichols, nag-uulat mula sa Sandigan Bayan. Masaya naman si Senate President Tito Soto sa pagpapawalang sala ng Sandigan Bayan kay dating Senador Bong Revilla sa kasong plunder. Sinabi ni Soto na makakatulong yon sa muling pagtakbo ni Revilla sa Senado sa midterm elections. Samantala, hindi naman maunawaan ni Senador Kiko Pangilinan ang hatol na not guilty kay Revilla dahil pinapabalikan niya ng korte ang 124 million pesos sa National Treasury. Bukod dito, nasintensyahan din anya ng guilty ang nanuhol kung kaya't ang tanong niya, bakit pinawalang sala ang sinuhulan. Nagbunyi naman ang mga taga-suporta ni dating Senador Bong Revilla kaugnay sa pagpapawalang sala sa kanya ng Sandigan Bayan sa kasong plunder. Makibalita tayo sa aming correspondent na si Caroline Bongkin. Caroline, go ahead.
Cherry, sinusundan nga natin ngayon yung grupo ng mga taga-suporta ni dating Senador Revilla na bumabiyahe papuntang Cavite para doon sa lubungin ang dating senador. Galing sila sa Sandigan Bayan kanina para abangan yung desisyon ng korte. Kanina ay nag-iyakan sila, nagyakapan sa sobrang saya ng iasunsyon na not guilty ang hatol. Ito raw ang pinagdadasal nila nitong mga nakaraang araw. Dumayo pa sa Quezon City ang mga ito mula sa Cavite. Malaki yung suportang ibinigay nila kay Revilla na para sa kanila ay inosente at nadiin lamang dahil sa politika. Cherry?
Okay, maraming salamat Caroline Bongkin, nag-uulat pa rin mula sa Sandigan Bayan. Samantala, umaasa naman si dating Senador Jinggoy Estrada na not guilty rin ang magiging hatol sa kanya ng Sandigan Bayan. Kasama si Estrada sa 3 senador na inakusahang sangkot sa pork barrel scam. Dumating siya kanina sa anti-graft court nang ibaba ang hatol kay Revilla.
Already submitted our respective formal offer of evidence, and we are going to file for a leave of court. Then, if the court will grant our pleading or our motion, we will file a demurrer to evidence. Confident because they have released me on bail, meaning to say that the evidence can be swift. So I will still leave it to the court to decide my case.
Dinala muli sa Campo Crame si dating Senador Bong Revilla matapos siyang ipawalang sala ng Sandigan Bayan sa kasong plunder. Makibalita tayo sa aming correspondent na si Trisha Terada. Trisha, anong ginagawa dyan ngayon ni dating Senador Revilla?
Well, Cherry, tamang ka, nakabalik na nga si dating Senador Bong Revilla dito sa PNP Custodial Center matapos maabsuelto ng korte sa kasong pandarambong. At nandito nga siya para tapusin ang mga proseso para tuluyan na nga siyang makalaya. Isusumite ng kanyang abogado ang mga release order mula sa korte sa hepe ng Custodial Center. Sunod niyan ay ang medical check-up at pagkatapos dumaan sa mga prosesong ito ay tuluyan na nga siyang makakalaya. At kakabigay lamang ng impormasyon sa atin ngayon lang, no, na kasalukuyan ng sumasailalim si Revilla sa medical. Pero bago sila umalis ay magsasalo-salo muna ang pamilya at kaibigan ni Revilla sa pananghalian dito sa Custodial Center. Ilan sa mga nakita natin kanina ay yung mga anak at asawa ni Revilla na si Mayor Lani Mercado at nandyan din si dating Senador Jinggoy Estrada at ilan pang mga kaanak. Pagkatapos nga niyan ay tutungo siya sa Cavite kung saan siya sasalubungin ng mga supporters. Isa sa mga plano niya ngayong araw ay bisitahin ang ama at puntod ng kanyang ina. Kung masusunod ang plano, gusto ni Revilla sana naguguli ng kanyang buong oras para sa kanyang pamilya simula ngayong araw hanggang Linggo. Sa Lunes siya opisyal na haharap at magbibigay ng pahayag at talumpati sa flag raising ceremony sa Bacoor. Cherry?
Maraming salamat, Tricia Tirada, nag-uulat mula sa Campo Crame. At yan ang kabuuan ng balitaan ngayong araw ng Biyernes, December 7, 2018. Sa ngalan ni Pinky Webb, ako si Cherry Mercado. Happy weekend hanggang sa Lunes. Magandang tanghali.
This is Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Tonight on the program, a good day indeed for Bong Revilla, the former senator found innocent of plunder and walks free after posting bail for other cases of graft.
This program is brought to you by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
Acquitted, former Senator Bong Revilla finally walking free after more than 4 years in detention over a multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. The Sandigan Bayan finds him innocent of plunder. It says the prosecution failed to present a single direct evidence to prove Revilla benefited from government funds. Revilla's plunder case is the first to be resolved among dozens of cases on the supposed misuse of the Priority Development Assistance Fund by some lawmakers. Well, it's going to be a very Merry Christmas for Revilla, but it's a different story for his co-accused. AC Nichols reports.
Former Senator Bong Revilla comes home for the holidays for good, and he couldn't hold back his tears on this reality. After 4.5 years in detention, he is a free man. The Sandigan Bayan 1st Division acquits Revilla of plunder over an alleged pork barrel scam.
Sa lahat na nagdasal, maraming salamat po.
Revilla was accused of pocketing over 200 million pesos by diverting his pork barrel to fake non-governmental organizations in exchange for kickbacks. But the anti-graft court said state prosecutors failed to prove that Revilla pocketed public funds. The court believes Revilla's position that his signatures on letters endorsing the NGOs for his pork projects were forged. An expert witness supported this.
Maraming salamat sa hustisya. Ngayon, may tutuloy na natin laban.
On the other hand, the court finds Revilla's co-accused, his former staff Richard Cambe, and businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles guilty. They face a jail term of up to 40 years. The court said the prosecution was able to show a conspiracy between Cambe and Napoles to benefit from Revilla's pork barrel. It cites witness testimony identifying Cambe as the one who directly transacted with Napoles' employees. The anti-graft court's 1st division was prompted to create a special division of 5 from the previous 3 members because of a deadlock. Under the expanded division, Associate Justices Geraldine Ekong, Edgardo Caldona, and Georgina Dumpit Hidalgo voted to acquit Revilla, while Justices Efren de la Cruz and Maria Teresa Gomez Estuesta ruled to convict him. In her dissenting opinion, Justice Estuesta criticized the supposed swift acquittal of Revilla. She believes they should have been more careful in appreciating the prosecution's evidence. The court also ordered the return of 124.5 million pesos to the National Treasury for civil liability. It is not clear in the decision on who should pay the amount, though Revilla's lawyers say he's not included given his acquittal. When asked if his office will appeal Revilla's acquittal, Ombudsman Samuel Martires said no because of the double jeopardy rule. He may have been cleared of plunder, but Revilla is not totally off the hook. He is still facing a number of graft cases in relation to the pork barrel scam. He posted bail of almost 500,000 pesos, the final hurdle in getting that coveted release order from the court. AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
Malacanang says it will abide by the decision of the anti-graft court. In a statement, presidential spokesman Sal Panelo praises the court for reaching a verdict despite taking years. He adds Malacanang bows to the court's judgment and respects the independence of the judiciary. Former President Noynoy Aquino also reacting to Revilla's acquittal. In a text message, Aquino says the fact that Revilla's co-accused were convicted proves that a crime was committed. Aquino adds if one were to study the court's decision once released, quote, one would be confused and bewildered instead of enlightened, unquote. It was during Aquino's administration that arrests were made and cases filed over the multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. Revilla and Jinggoy Estrada were detained at the PNP Custodial Center, while Juan Ponce Enrile was put under arrest at the PNP General Hospital in Camp Crame. Enrile was temporarily freed because of his health, followed by Estrada, after a court said that the evidence does not point to him as the main plunderer. Now that all three former senators are out of jail, Aquino, when asked for comment, said, quote, I am glad it is not my job to explain the unexplainable, unquote. Well, let's go above and beyond the headlines with former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, Revilla's friend and co-accused in the pork barrel scam. Thank you, sir, for taking our call. Senator Estrada?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Senator. Well, we understand you're very happy for your friend, Senator Revilla, but you yourself, sir, are facing charges also. What do you think will this mean for your case? Is this a good sign? Does this mean also, can we also conclude that you also will be acquitted in the end?
Well, honestly, I cannot conclude. There's no more conclusion first. First of all, I will just leave my fate with the Sandigan Bayan. But it's a big boost because my friend Senator Revilla was acquitted early this morning, and I hope to follow suit. I'm just hoping and praying that I will be acquitted of all the charges against me.
When you say, sir, that you hope you will also be acquitted of the charges against you, are you getting any positive signals from the court or from anyone, from any sources from inside as to your fate also?
No, definitely not. Wala naman akong natatanggap na signals na gano'n.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My case is still ongoing, but it's nearing towards the end already.
When do you think
we're about to wrap up?
When do you think you're going to get a schedule for a promulgation for the handing down the verdict? Because yung itong kay Senator Bong Revilla in-announce about like a month ago.
Yes, probably early next year we will file a demurrer to evidence. If the court will grant the demurrer to evidence, then that's already tantamount to acquittal.
All right, and of course a demurrer to evidence.
But if the court will deny it, I still have to go through the process.
Mm-hmm. And a demurrer to evidence meaning?
Meaning we will not present any witnesses, any evidence anymore.
Okay, because your stand is that the prosecution did not make its case against you, and that is why
because they have a weak case against me.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. There are some questions about Senator Bong Revilla's acquittal because you have his staff, Richard Cambe, getting convicted for this, but not him. No? Of course, the court is pointing out na hindi naman siya yung pumirma. At the same time, there are also questions about he is convicted. He is acquitted, but the court is telling him to return the money also. What are we supposed to make out of this?
No, the court did not say that Senator Revilla should return the money. I think it was Ms. Janet Lim Napoles and Attorney Richard Cambe who is liable for it, according to the resolution of, according to the decision of the court, not Senator Revilla.
Okay. Well, the other issue there, yung parang isang tanong ng mga tao, bakit si Richard Cambe ang may kasalanan, yung staff niya, pero siya hindi? Wala siyang kinalaman doon?
Well, yung mga whistleblowers, the three women whistleblowers, did not point to Senator Revilla as receiving money or or accepting money from Napoles. Neither did Napoles give money to Senator Revilla or the three whistleblowers, including the main whistleblower, si Ben Hurluy. He even denied giving money to Senator Revilla. As also in my case.
Okay, so in his defense, parang ang sinasabi, walang documentary at walang testimonial evidence to prove na nakatanggap ng pera, ng kickback si Senator Bong Revilla.
Yes, correct. You are correct, Pia.
At the moment, Senator Jinggoy, where are you? Are you with Senator Bong and his family in Camp Crame? Are you going to be going back home with them to Cavite? I mean, going with them to Cavite when they go home?
No, I'm in my hometown in San Juan.
I see.
I just left Camp Crame a while ago.
All right. And just very briefly, you said a while ago, early next year, you're expecting a verdict to be handed down on your own case. February is the start of, is the campaign season begins in February. Are we expecting that this is going to happen before the campaign begins?
Well, I hope. I hope so.
Okay. And you don't have any other information to that effect?
No, I do not have any information.
All right. Okay. Senator Jinggoy Estrada, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Pia.
Former Senator Revilla will head straight home for a night of celebration with his family, friends, and supporters. Our Caroline Bonkin is outside the senator's home in Bacoor in Cavite. Caroline, what's going on there?
Well, Pia, although media are not allowed inside, we get a sense of how much family and supporters have been preparing for the former senator's homecoming. Since his acquittal this morning, we've been seeing cars, food, and drink deliveries going in and out of the place. They also hung a welcome home banner outside the gates, and there's a band waiting for him inside. Cavite supporters and residents are also coming here for the celebration. Mayor Lani Mercado's public information officer said that her husband will first spend time to have dinner with his family first, and then he will meet with Cavite barangay officials. Most of those who came here say that they're sure Revilla will also make time for them.
Po namin siya rin makita bilang mga malalapit sa kanya rin. Matagal namin siyang hindi nakasama talaga at hindi nakita.
So kumbaga na-miss niyo siya?
Opo. Sobrang miss. Excited lang, makita namin siya.
Dahil?
Dahil mabait naman si Bong Revilla.
Pia, only Mercado and her son, Vice Governor Jola Revilla, will face the media later. Revilla, on the other hand, will have his own press conference on Monday after his speech at the flag raising ceremony in Bacoor City. Pia?
Caroline Bonkin reporting live from Cavite. We're going to go back to her when there's a bit more action there. In the meantime, we're showing you live pictures from Camp Crame, where Senator Bong Revilla, just outside the PNP, what's called the PNP Custodial Center, where Senator Bong Revilla spent the last 4 years in detention. He is the last of the three senators to be walking out of there, well, already a free and an acquitted man. Senator Jinggoy Estrada had months ago, walked out of those gates, but he's just on bail. We were speaking to Senator Jinggoy Estrada, former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, just a while ago. He was explaining that he is expecting a verdict on his case, hopefully early next year. And he says hopefully before the campaign begins in February. Senator Jinggoy, of course, running for the Senate, seeking a return to the Senate. So those are live pictures that you're seeing right now in Camp Crame. And there, Senator Bong Revilla walking out of the detention center, now a free man. Just this morning, the Sandigan Bayan acquitting him of plunder charges, although convicting a staff member of his, Richard Cambe, and Janet Lim Napoles, a businesswoman, allegedly the pork barrel scam queen. Let's listen in. Right, there's a little bit of a ruckus there going on as Senator Bong Revilla walking out of his detention center. Media trying to get to speak to him several hours after the anti-graft court acquitted him. Let's listen in.
But you're not with them.
After 4 years, and almost 6 months. Finally, makakalabas na rin ako. At lumabas na yung katotohanan. Nagpapasalamat ako at merong hustisya pa rin sa ating bansa. At ako'y nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kababayan, mga patuloy na nagdadasal sa akin. Sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayo. Huwag itulak.
A very brief message from former Senator Bong Revilla just hours after he is acquitted by the Sandigan Bayan, the anti-graft court on plunder charges. His men pushing their way through a throng of media, practitioners, from cameramen, reporters trying to get as close to him as possible. A few words he gave just a while ago, thanking the court for this, saying that he's been away from his family for 3-4 Christmases. This will be his first Christmas home. Inside the vehicle, his wife, Lani Mercado, and some of his children. Those are live pictures from Camp Crame, where Bong Revilla spent the last 4 years. Well, from there, we are expecting that he will be returning to his home in Bacoor in Cavite. This is, well, the way the family and friends and supporters see this, a victory. Revilla himself says that truth prevailed today, that the truth came out today, just as the anti-graft court acquitted him of plunder charges. Returning to our top story, the anti-graft court acquits former Senator Bong Revilla of plunder over a multi-million peso pork barrel scam. Moments ago, the senator walked out of his detention center, the PNP Custodial Center in Camp Crame, after 4 years in detention there. Now, here are some reactions from Revilla's former colleagues at the Senate.
After 4 years and almost 6 months, finally, makakalabas na rin ako. At lumabas na yung katotohanan. Nagpapasalamat ako at merong hustisya pa rin sa ating bansa. At ako'y nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kababayan, mga patuloy na nagdadasal sa akin. Sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayo.
Senate President Tito Soto says he is happy for Revilla and sees the acquittal as a boost to his candidacy. Revilla is running for senator next year. Senator Kiko Pangilinan, meantime, baffled by the Sandigan Bayan decision. His statement, quote, "Paano naging guilty ang nanuhol pero not guilty ang sinuhulan," unquote. Senator Ping Lacson, on the other hand, says that as a former colleague and friend, he is happy for Revilla, but, quote, "as a strong advocate against the pork barrel system, I feel weak and defeated," unquote. For Senator Dick Gordon, the lesson in Revilla's acquittal is that lawmakers should make sure they do things right.
The lesson is make sure you do it right. In other words, what the money is intended for, make sure that it is clearly being used not by the senator but by the government. It also gave a bad name to pork barrel or to PDAF, no? But I think marami rin nasaktan dyan dahil siyempre yung mga tao pag walang malapitan at meron silang gustong mga kailangan madala sa kanilang probinsya na napapabayaan ng gobyerno, hindi na makakapasok ngayon at it's going to be only the national government who will now be able to make that decision. And, you know, they're not exactly angels either.
That's it for now. See you again at 7 for the second edition of Newsnight. I'm Pio Ontiveros.
This program is brought to you by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
This is Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Our top stories. A good day indeed for Bong Revilla, the former senator found innocent of plunder and walks free after posting bail for other cases of graft. Acquitted, former Senator Bong Revilla finally walking free after more than 4 years in detention over a multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. The Sandigan Bayan found him innocent of plunder. It says the prosecution failed to present a single direct evidence to prove Revilla benefited from government funds. About half an hour ago, he left the PNP Custodial Center in Camp Crame and is now on his way home to Cavite. Facing the media, Revilla thanked his supporters.
After 4 years and almost 6 months, finally, makakalabas na rin ako. At lumabas na yung katotohanan. Nagpapasalamat ako at merong hustisya pa rin sa ating bansa. At ako'y nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kababayan, mga patuloy na nagdadasal sa akin. Sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayo.
Revilla's plunder case is the first to be resolved among dozens of cases on the supposed misuse of the Priority Development Assistance Fund by some lawmakers. Former Senator Revilla will head straight home for a night of celebration with his family, friends, and supporters. Our Carolyn Bonquin is outside the Senator's home in Bacoor in Cavite. Carolyn, what's happening there?
Yeah, there's an ongoing program inside the Revilla's residence while everyone waits for the former senator. It's been a whole day preparation for his homecoming since his acquittal this morning. They hung a welcome home banner outside the gates. There's even a band inside waiting for him. Cavite residents and supporters are here to greet the former senator who they missed after 4 years in detention. The Public Information Officer of Mayor Lani Mercado said that once here, Revilla will first have dinner with his family and then he will meet with Cavite barangay officials. Only Mercado and Vice Governor Jolo Revilla will face the media later. Revilla will have his own press conference on Monday. Pia?
Carolyn Bonquin reporting live from Cavite. We go above and beyond the headlines with Bacoor, Cavite Mayor Lani Mercado, wife of former Senator Bong Revilla. Thank you for joining us, ma'am, here in Newsnight.
Yeah, good evening.
Well, ma'am, let's begin with this. I understand your family, of course, very happy for this. Lalo na this is happening right before Christmas. We all remember how about a month ago you were telling the media that you were expecting and that you knew that there was going to be a verdict by the first or the second week of December. At that time, ma'am, did you already know how things were going to go and in direction?
Not really. We did not really know about the decision this morning or what the decision will be this morning till today. So there was really no assurance of anything since we received the letter coming from Sandigan Bayan with regards to the hearing, the promulgation this morning, December 7th.
So you didn't have a clue, Mayor Lani, as to how this is going to go?
All, no.
So in other words, you were prepared either way. You were prepared for, either an acquittal today or a conviction.
Yes, we had to prepare our family for whatever decision that would happen, yes.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel? You know, what was the first thought that entered your mind when that decision came out today or was read?
Well, it was Thanksgiving to our Lord. Our prayers have been answered. We've been long waiting for this decision. It is no joke to not have your husband beside you for 4 years and over 5 months, and this has been a very big sacrifice for our family. It's a very big trial for all of us.
Mm-hmm. But ma'am, your husband's staff members, Mr. Richard Cambe, has been convicted, no? And some criticism is that bakit siya guilty pero si Senator Bong Revilla hindi?
I cannot comment on that, because it was the judges who brought out the verdict. So the only thing that I would say is I respect the decisions of the justices. We are very sorry for the negative verdict of Attorney Cambe, Senator Bong Revilla's staff, but we are holding on to. Of course, we will be praying for their family. we're here to still support them. He has a wife and he has 2 children.
Mayor Lani, right after the decision was read in the Sandigan Bayan, I understand you went back to Camp Crame. That was the only time na nag-empake, no? I suppose.
Yes.
Can you describe to us what the situation was like?
Well, we waited. Everybody was happy. We waited for the papers coming from the Sandigan Bayan. He went through a medical checkup to check if he's physically okay.
Yeah. Well, what was it like, ma'am, to pack up doon sa detention cell?
Siyempre, you have to, nakakataranta actually dahil you have to pack up his stuff. We left some of his items still because we were not prepared in getting vehicles for some of his stuff. So far so good. We're out. That's what's most important. Yeah.
Okay. And tonight there's some. I understand some sort of a celebration. What's going on there? Can you describe to us the atmosphere and I understand there's some sort of a little program going on.
Not really. Bong just wants to visit Imus Cathedral and say a prayer and visit the burial area of his mom, and then he'll be visiting his father and have dinner with the family.
Kanina, ma'am, kausap namin si Senator Jinggoy Estrada, and he was saying that he's expecting a verdict on his case, hopefully early next year, and hopefully before the campaign begins in February. Have you heard of that? And what are your thoughts on that? Kasi ang tanong ko rin kay Senator Jinggoy kanina is, are you hopeful now? Does the acquittal of Senator Bong Revilla give you hope for your own case?
Yes, I do believe this particular decision has weight on the case of Senator Jinggoy, but we still have to wait and respect also the decision of the division which handles Senator Jinggoy's case. And we are praying and we are also hopeful that he would also get the same verdict as what has happened to Senator Revilla.
I'm sure, ma'am, this is a very overwhelming time for you, but I need to ask this also because, like we mentioned already, campaign begins in February. Is this something that you thought about? Because if there was no verdict yet of if in this case an acquittal, no, and that would mean that the campaign begins in February. Ano yung mga plano nyo?
Alam mo, Pia, sa ngayon we're just taking it one day at a time. Siyempre, there are campaign schedules on the way. Siguro, pag-unahin po muna namin mag-settle down si Senator Bong.
And kayo rin, and your children, right?
Yeah. It has been very tiring.
Yeah.
Siguro mag-settle down muna, pamilya muna, oras muna sa pamilya din. We will be facing the campaign schedules and invitations. Actually, maraming invitation to Senator Bong to go around the country and visit the different parts of the country.
Interesting that you use the word settle down because, well, that's one thing you need to do because, syempre, like you said earlier, no, it's very difficult to have your spouse away from you for years. And then all of a sudden, tonight will be the first time magkakasama kayo in your own home for the first time. So this is something you need to get used to again, right?
Yes. So ito yung kumbaga walang deadlines, walang cut-off time na sasabihin hanggang alas 5 ka lang, lalabas na kayo. At least ito dire-diretso magkakasama kaming lahat buong pamilya.
Okay. Well, final words, Mayor Lani Revilla.
Well, I thank all of you who have prayed for my husband and who have supported him all this time. Nagpapasalamat din po kami sa Sandigan Bayan for this decision. Truly, this is a great Christmas for my family and prayers have been answered. Thank you very much, Pia.
Mayor Lani Revilla, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hopes are high for a co-accused in the pork barrel scam. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Revilla's friend, former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, says he's praying he will also be acquitted as early as next year.
I will just leave my faith with the Sandigan Bayan. But it's a big boost because my friend Senator Revilla was acquitted early this morning. And I hope to follow suit. I'm just hoping and praying that I will be acquitted of all the charges against me.
That's it for tonight. Thank you for your time. I'm Pia Ontiveros. See you again on Monday for News Night, where we go above and beyond the headlines.
This program is brought to you by Bank of Commerce.
This is the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Tonight, it will be a Merry Christmas for former Senator Bong Revilla, who finally walks free after being acquitted of plunder.
This program is brought to you by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ruth Cabal. Thanks for joining us. Acquitted. Former Senator Bong Revilla finally walking free after more than 4 years in detention over a multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. Revilla was accused of pocketing over 200 million pesos by diverting his pork barrel to fake non-governmental organizations in exchange for kickbacks. But the Sandigan Bayan finds him innocent of plunder. It says the prosecution failed to present a single direct evidence to prove Revilla pocketed public funds. At past 6 this evening, he left the PNP Custodial Center and is now on his way home to Cavite. Facing the media, Revilla thanked his supporters.
After 4 years and almost 6 months, finally, makakalabas na rin ako. At lumabas na yung katotohanan. Nagpapasalamat ako at merong hustisya pa rin sa ating bansa. At ako'y nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kababayan, mga patuloy na nagdadasal sa akin. Sa inyo pong lahat, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayo.
Revilla's plunder case is the first to be resolved among dozens of cases on the supposed misuse of the Priority Development Assistance Fund by some lawmakers. While Revilla was acquitted, the court finds his co-accused, his former staff Richard Cambe, and businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles guilty. They face a jail term of up to 40 years. The court also orders the return of 124.5 million pesos to the National Treasury for civil liability. It is not clear in the decision on who should pay the amount, though Revilla's lawyer says he's not included given his acquittal. Revilla may have been cleared of plunder, but he is not totally off the hook. He is still facing a number of graft cases in relation to the pork barrel scam. Meanwhile, Revilla's wife, Bacoor Cavite Mayor Lani Mercado, tells CNN Philippines her family did not know which way the court decision would go, but they prepared themselves for whatever outcome. She says they did not know the verdict until today, despite earlier speculation that her husband would be acquitted.
But we had to prepare our family for whatever decision that would happen, yes.
And how did you feel? You know, what was the first thought that entered your mind when that decision came out today or was read?
Well, it was Thanksgiving to our Lord. Our prayers have been answered. We've been long waiting for this decision. It is no joke to not have your husband beside you for 4 years and over 5 months. And this has been a very big sacrifice for our family. It's a very big trial for all of us.
But ma'am, your husband's staff members, Mr. Richard Cambe, has been convicted, no? And some criticism is that bakit siya guilty pero si Senator Bong Revilla hindi?
I cannot comment on that, because it was the judges who brought out the verdict. So the only thing that I would say is I respect the decisions of the justices. We are very sorry for the negative verdict of Attorney Cambe, Senator Bong Revilla's staff, but we are holding on to. Of course, we will be praying for their families. We're here to still support them. I do believe this particular decision has weight on the case of Senator Jinggoy, but we still have to wait and respect also the decision of the division which handles Senator Jinggoy's case. And we are praying, and we are also hopeful that he would also get the same verdict as what has happened to Senator Revilla. Family, friends, and supporters are waiting for Revilla's return home. Our Carolyn Bonquin joins us from Bacoor, Cavite. Carolyn, can you tell us the mood there? What's happening there now?
Ruth, the convoy of former Senator Bong Revilla just passed by the front of the Revilla's residence just a while ago, but he didn't actually enter the gate. So if they will actually stick to the original schedule, Revilla and his family will be having a dinner now, but we are not yet sure where that will be. So Revilla just a while ago went to the cathedral in Imus after coming from Camp Grame to offer a short prayer. Right now, dozens of friends and supporters are here waiting to celebrate his homecoming after 4 years. Many eager to see and greet him. Revilla will not be giving a statement to the press tonight, but instead, Mayor Lani Mercado will face the media later. Ruth?
Are there any other personalities or maybe former senators, for his colleagues who are there, senators who are there?
Well, Ruth, the media are actually not allowed inside the Revilla's residence, so we cannot tell for sure who are the personalities inside, but based on what we have been seeing from outside the premises, a lot of people inside are actually barangay officials or homeowners, association members, and City Hall employees.
Carolyn Bonquin there reporting. Hopes are high for a co-accused in the pork barrel scam. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Revilla's friend, former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, says he's praying he will also be acquitted as early as next year.
I will just leave my faith with the Sandigan Bayan. But it's a big boost because my friend Senator Revilla was acquitted early this morning, and I hope to follow suit. I'm just hoping and praying that I will be acquitted of all the charges against me.
What do you think about our top stories tonight? Send us a message at CNN Philippines. We're also live on Facebook. We'll read your comments at the end of the show. You're back in the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Again, tonight's biggest story, former Senator Bong Revilla is free after more than 4 years in detention over a multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. The Sandigan Bayan finds him innocent of plunder. It says the prosecution failed to present a single direct evidence to prove Revilla benefited from government funds. Revilla's plunder case is the first to be resolved among dozens of cases on the supposed misuse of the Priority Development Assistance Fund by some lawmakers. Speaking to the media, Revilla's son, Cavite Vice Governor Jolo, says his family is happy with the ruling.
Hindi kami pwedeng magpakita ng kahinaan sa kanya. Diba? Nagpakita kaming matatag at nagkakaisa at buo ang pamilya sa likod niya.
Netizens taking to social media after the court's decision on Revilla's plunder case, most of them not in favor of the acquittal. Twitter user Keiko says she's disappointed but not surprised. Still on Twitter, Mark Lopez says the acquittal is, quote, the end result of a flawed justice system. Eliza Dominguez says, kadiri yung tatlong justices who voted to acquit Revilla. What are your thoughts? Join the conversation by visiting our website at cnnphilippines.com or by following us on social media at CNN Philippines. And earlier we asked you about our top story, former Senator Bong Revilla acquitted of plunder over pork barrel scam. Here are some of your comments. Abdullah Ruben Galvez says this only proves justice really exists. Lance De Asis, Merlin Landig, Dator, Aldrina Delizo, Nelsie Changcoco all send their congratulations to the former senator. Vine D, however, says once a plunderer, always a plunderer. And Paul Kiday says, nakaw pa ulit.
Thank you for your comments. That's the newsroom tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Ruth Cabal. Happy weekend.
This program is brought to you by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.